The night Ethan Cross decided not to jump was the same night he realized nobody would notice if he disappeared. That thought hit harder than the cold wind slicing across the bridge. The city below pulsed with life. Cars rushing, lights blinking, people laughing somewhere far away. Above it all stood Ethan, hands gripping the rusted railing, heart pounding like it was trying to escape his chest. 32 years old, no wife, no kids, a name that barely echoed in anyone else's life. He checked his phone one last time, no new messages, no missed calls, just silence. Ethan laughed quietly, a dry, broken sound. Figures, he whispered. A month ago, he'd lost his job, downsizing, they'd called it. 2 weeks later, Noah stopped answering his calls. His younger brother had always been the golden one. Stable job, stable life. Ethan was the mess everyone pretended not to see. He leaned forward slightly, feeling the dizzy pull of the drop. "Don't!" The voice was calm, female. Close. Ethan froze and turned his head. A woman stood a few feet away, hands tucked into the pockets of a long gray coat. She didn't look panicked or alarmed, just present. Her dark hair was tied loosely, strands dancing in the wind. Her eyes were sharp, observant, like she'd been studying him long before speaking. "You shouldn't tell strangers what to do," Ethan said. She shrugged. "Then don't jump for strangers either." That annoyed him. "You don't know anything about me?" "You're right," she said. "But I know that people who really want to jump don't check their phones first." Ethan stiffened. "You watching me?" "I notice things," she replied. "I'm Lila." He didn't offer his name. Lila stepped closer, resting her elbows on the railing, staring down at the traffic below like it was just another ordinary view. "I come here when my head gets loud." "That's healthy," Ethan muttered. "Cheaper than therapy." Despite himself, a small smile tugged at his lips. It vanished quickly. "You should go," he said. "I don't want company." Lila turned to him. "Then why are you still here?" He opened his mouth to respond, but nothing came out. Silence stretched between them, thick but not uncomfortable. Finally, Ethan exhaled. "I don't know how I got this far off course." Lila nodded slowly. "Most people don't." Something in her tone, quiet understanding without pity, made his chest ache. "My brother thinks I'm a failure," Ethan said suddenly. "He won't say it, but I can hear it in the silence." "Silence can be louder than insults," Lila replied. Ethan looked at her then, really looked. There was sadness there, old, familiar. "Why are you here?" he asked. Lila hesitated. "Someone I loved jumped from this bridge 3 years ago." The words landed heavy between them. "And you still come back?" Ethan asked. "Yes," she said softly, "because I keep wondering what would have happened if someone had stood where I'm standing now." Ethan's grip loosened slightly. For the first time that night, the bridge didn't feel like an ending. It felt like a question. Ethan sat on the curb near the bridge, hands wrapped around a paper cup of lukewarm coffee Lila had bought from a nearby stall. The night felt quieter now, like the city had lowered its voice out of respect. "You don't have to stay," he said. "I know," Lila replied, "but I want to." That scared him more than being alone. They talked slowly at first, about nothing important. Weather, bad coffee, how cities feel lonelier at night. But somewhere between sips and silence, the conversation shifted. "I used to think purpose would just show up," Ethan said, "like a promotion or a person." "And when it didn't?" Lila asked. "I assumed something was wrong with me." She nodded. "Most people do." Ethan glanced at her. "You talk like you've been there." "I have," she said. "Different bridge, same darkness." He hesitated. "What stopped you?" Lila looked ahead. "Someone asked me a question." "What question?" "If the pain I felt was permanent or just loud." Ethan swallowed. "And?" "It was loud," she said. "Pain lies. It tells you it'll never leave. Ethan stared at the ground. What if it's telling the truth? Then you outlive it out of spite, Lila said lightly. That made him laugh, an actual laugh this time. They walked together afterward, away from the bridge, steps sinking without effort. At a quiet intersection, Lila stopped. "This is where I turn," she said. Ethan felt a strange panic. "Will I see you again?" "Maybe," she said, "but not tonight." She pulled a folded piece of paper from her pocket and handed it to him. An address. No phone number. "What's this?" he asked. "A place where broken people go when they don't know what's next," she said. "You don't have to show up. But if you do, you won't be alone." Before he could respond, she walked away, disappearing into the glow of a streetlight. Ethan stood there long after she was gone, paper clenched in his hand. For the first time in months, he didn't go home to sleep. He went home to think. The building at the address didn't look special. Old brick, flickering sign, narrow windows. Ethan almost turned around twice before pushing the door open. Inside, warmth hit him first, then sound, laughter, conversation, life. A small group sat in a circle. No stage, no podium, just people. Lila sat among them. She smiled when she saw him, not surprised, just pleased. Ethan listened more than he spoke. Stories spilled into the room. Loss, addiction, regret, survival. No one interrupted, no one tried to fix anyone else. When it was Ethan's turn, his voice shook. But he spoke. About the bridge, about Noah, about feeling invisible. When he finished, no one clapped. No one judged. They nodded. That night changed something in him. Weeks passed, then months. Ethan found work, not glamorous, but honest. He kept coming back to the group. He learned how to sit with pain instead of running from it. One evening, after the meeting, Lila walked beside him. "You're different," she said. "So are you," Ethan replied. She smiled. "I'm lighter." He stopped walking. "Why do I feel like this ends if I ask too much?" Lila looked at him gently. "Because you're afraid good things don't last." "And do they?" he asked. She took his hand. "Long enough to matter." Ethan stood at another bridge months later, but this time the sun was rising. His phone buzzed. "Noah." Ethan answered. "Hey." There was a pause. "I heard you've been doing better." "I am," Ethan said. "I wish I'd let you see how bad it was." "I wish I'd asked," Noah replied. They talked longer than they had in years. Ethan hung up, heart full and aching in a good way. Lila joined him, slipping her hand into his. "Same bridge? Same place," he said. "Different man." They watched the city wake up together. Ethan thought about how close he'd been to ending everything, and how one stranger's voice had changed the direction of his life. Sometimes salvation doesn't come as a miracle. Sometimes it comes as someone saying, "Don't," at the exact moment you need to hear it. Ethan smiled, breathing in the morning air. He was still here, and this time, he wanted to be.